This game has one of the twistiest mechanisms we've seen.
What? No way. What is it?
This is the review for the board game Mindbug, the good and bad about it.
By the end of this video, you will know why I'm here and should you be bugged by this game.
We have 6 twisty questions that we will answer in this video, but before we do that, Giannis, why are you there?
Well, I'm on vacation. That's the whole thing. Thankfully, the review is much more interesting than the solution to this thing. Mindbug is all about destroying your opponent because it's a simple, competitive card game. Or is it?
You have to defeat the opponent. You can do that by making sure he has no life points. Or if the opponent runs out of cards, then also you win.
On your turn, you have to do one of two things. Real simple. You either have to attack with one of your monsters or play a new monster. That's it. Simple.
Each card has a power point right here, the number on top of the cards, and you defeat weaker monsters. So if you have a monster with number 1, well, you can't defeat anyone. But he has also superpowers like sneaky and poison and other things. This card is what the whole game is about, the Mindbugs. Whenever your opponent plays a card, you can use one of your Mindbugs. You can steal that player's played card. If you play a super strong card, like a 9 with a cool power, I'm gonna steal it, Giannis.
Don't. Just don't. What if I have something better in my hand? Maybe you should just hold off. And jokes on Giannis, or on you, or whoever I'm playing, I also have 2 Mindbugs, and I can play them whenever I want. But do I hold on and maybe wait for that bigger creature? Maybe he's playing me by playing this creature and wanting me to play my Mindbug? I don't know.
That's the whole game. You have to play a card or attack with one of your cards, and if you play a card, then the opponent can play that Mindbug and steal that card. That's it. And only 2 Mindbugs for each player. It's really quick, it's fast-paced, and we're gonna talk a lot more about it in this video. Are those twists and Mindbugs any good?
Who would you get this for? Did I mention that I'm in deep countryside? What it means is we get snail mail here, so mine's gonna be on parchments of paper.
For me, it's Lord Peter Baelish. The Littlefinger, the character from Game of Thrones, is somebody who could totally play this game. Playing the cards and the characters generally is not the fun part. The fun part is trying to outplay your opponent and playing these mind games with the Mindbugs. I think Littlefinger would enjoy this. It's about playing people, not playing cards.
It's interesting that you talked more about the Mindbug aspect of Mindbug. I actually like the whole basic package of it. It's a simple competitive card game that can be played in 10 minutes and taught in a minute? There's some text, but not a lot of it. I taught it to my 6-year-old and 9-year-old, and they played it together without even me interfering. And I also can pull this out and play anytime. That's why what I'm saying is it's competitive gamer or anyone. Anyone can play this. Well, you do have to be competitive. What are the 3 best things about this game? My 3rd best thing about this game is going to be the size. It's small. Did you watch our recent video of best games to take with you while traveling? It was one of the higher rated games there. Wasn't it the highest rated? It's essentially a deck of cards. You can put it in your pocket, throw it in your bag, take it out, and just play. Even when playing, what are 6 cards at most on the table? Maybe a bit more?
The game is so easy and teaching the game is so easy. It's basically play it and use it. Meaning you can play a card or use a card, and that's the whole rules. You also have this cheat sheet with all of the powers that cards have, like poison and frenzy, but that card is in front of you, so you don't have to teach it to anybody. Let's go now.
That kind of leads into my 2nd best thing, which is going to be the replay value. Like you said, you don't have to teach all the abilities, because some of those might not come up for a long time because of the setup of the game. When you set up the game, you deal 10 cards to each player, and that's all they're gonna have for the rest of the game. And the deck has 50 cards? So there's a ton of replay value there in this small little deck of cards.
For me, it's 2 arrows. One is up and one is down. The ups and downs, the high and lows, because at one moment you can feel like I'm winning this game, easily. I have 4 cards, opponent doesn't really have any. I have such a strong powers, just going so well for me. And just in matter of seconds, there's a chance you're gonna lose. One card can switch the whole dynamic. The small cards that have powers that defeat really quickly all these big armies and cards, and you can never feel safe.
But could you keep this for the next question as well? I think I'll need that one.
Okay, I can leave it.
My number one is Mindbugs. Those are those 2 cards each player gets. It's just what makes this game. You don't have those cards, it's a nice, simple, competitive game. It would still work. But adding those Mindbugs, I think that's just pure genius.
Yeah, for me, the same absolute thing. I wanted to say it's the cherry on top, but it's actually not. The Mindbugs are the whole cake, and everything else is the cherry on top. Thrill of not knowing when to use them. An opponent plays a card that is really strong, but you want to keep those 2 cards because Mindbugs are so valuable. They just pressure that you get every time opponent plays a card, and when you play a card, because you want to play a card that's strong, but you don't want opponent to get it. I think the Mindbugs is the reason we're reviewing this game, even because it wouldn't be half as interesting without them. It's a really unique mechanism, and again, one of those that why didn't we think of it?
Exactly.
So I'm leaving the middle one, huh?
Yeah. Just save it for the next question, which is why this game might not be for you.
You made me leave these arrows here. What is all that about?
So here's the thing. It should be on the lower part of the board. When I said you deal out those 10 cards to each player and draw your 5 starting ones, sometimes somebody will get better creatures. Sure, I mean, you can have Mindbugs take those away, but you're never sure. And then he plays a creature that can only other specific creature can block and just keeps pounding you turn after turn, and you go like, why didn't I take it? And there's nothing I can block it with, and it feels like such a down. But again, it's a 10-minute game. You could have played the Mindbug. What it essentially means is sometimes you will have a better first game and sometimes worse, but it's such a minor thing, it doesn't really matter.
For me as well, one of the bad things is card draw. Yeah, well, you talked about it. It really depends what cards you have. Card draw is kind of sometimes frustrating, but I totally agree that it's a 10-minute game, so it shouldn't be like an issue for really anybody, but it's a fun game with, well, tons of luck, but tons of decisions. That's the important part.
This one's super subjective, like super duper subjective. I am not a fan of the artwork. It's just okay. I thought it could be better. But again, it's super subjective, so it should be like barely on the board.
Yeah, I totally disagree. I really like the artwork. Well, it's maybe not the best artwork ever, but it's pretty cute. It's funny at times. You judge yourselves. You see the cards. There are these arrows, and I talked about swinginess. Maybe if you don't like those swings, big swings in this game, where you feel like crap at points, and at points you feel like the king of the world, then also maybe look elsewhere, because this is something that from time to time will gut punch you. But it's fun.
How long is the honeymoon?
2, 1. Explore, enjoy, master. 2 potatoes?
It's a small box with a forever potato sign in there. I mean, forever sign in there. How much forever can you fit into a small box? That's how long the honeymoon is.
For me as well, it's like the holy trinity. At first you just explore the cards and have fun with it. Then there's the process when you're playing it and hey, I'm really having good time and playing more and more. And the last thing is like mastering. Try to figure out which combos at what times, what cards really triggered the opponent to play those mind bugs. It's simple to play, but hard to master, I think.
What's the best alternative?
2, 1. Star Wars deck builder?
Keyforge.
Basically almost any 1 versus 1 game with cards, with powers and strength works, and there's a bunch of them. You fight against the opponent, try to defeat his victory points. Yet there's this market line, the Galaxy Row, where you can buy cards and you can attack cards there. Very unique twist, which not other games like this has done before. So both of them are quick 1 versus 1 games with a unique twist that will get your like blood flowing, and also for both of them there's quite a bit of random, so you won't also feel like you're playing chess.
Well, mine's Keyforge. I get the same feel there. You get a deck, the other player gets a deck and ready to go. You don't need to construct anything, play. Keyforge is way more complex. But it's also by one of the same designers of Mindbug, which is Richard Garfield. But Keyforge, when I said, you get your 10 cards and he gets those 10 cards and then they might be balanced, Keyforge is way more balanced than that. But it just gives me the same feel. So if you like Keyforge, I'm 100% sure you would like this. The final rating? After a very long deliberation, I have received the message right here. What is the final rating?
3, 2, 1.
Must have.
Ooh, for me it's fantastically good. Even more towards the fantastic. I really enjoy it. The cards are quite fun to play, but it's all about the mind bugs. I think the mind bugs is the thing why it's must have for you. I think the card play itself, it's interesting, but not that big of a deal. The Mindbug ties it all together. A really, really lovely game. I really liked it, so fantastically good for me.
I thought the theme fantastic and must have, but it's just, I love this game. And guess what? It's way easier to get 10 minutes than like 30 or 40 or 50. So I played a lot. I can play it with my sons and I can take it with me somewhere while traveling. Again, watch our travel games video. I think I must have it at home to play anytime I have 10 minutes. And I will have that more often than not.
It's totally worth it. The small packaging and everything around it is really, really great for the game inside. You get tons of excitement and this small package, and that's fantastic.
And I'm running out of electricity here in the countryside, so I have to cut this off. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye!
I'm left here alone, all alone. Please keep me some company at Patreon and in the Discord server. We will put on a voting in which video you want a theme song about the board game. So be sure to go to our Discord server, Patreon, YouTube members to vote on the theme song that Janis will sing for you.